You know, when we watch Little House on the Prairie, it feels like time slowed down, like we're stepping into another world. One with dirt roads, wooden porches, and families gathered around the fire. But what you might not realize, creating that world wasn't magic. It was work. Hard, long, detailed work. And behind every peaceful scene, every sunrise over Walnut Grove, every family dinner, every schoolhouse lesson, there was a carefully planned process that took 7 days to complete. For just one episode, that's right, an entire week, and it wasn't filmed all in one place. It wasn't even filmed all at once. Let me tell you how they did it, 'cause the making of Little House was almost as remarkable as the show itself. Each episode followed a rhythm, a kind of dance between outdoors and indoors, nature and studio, real and recreated. For 4 of those 7 days, filming happened at Big Sky Ranch in Simi Valley, California. This was the heart of Walnut Grove, the Ingalls cabin, the Olson Mercantile, the schoolhouse, the church, all standing together in a golden meadow, surrounded by oak trees and rolling hills. This is where the external scenes were shot. Charles walking home from the field, Laura chasing butterflies, the family gathering wood, or riding into town. And it wasn't fake. They didn't use green screens. They didn't add snow in post. If it was winter, they filmed in real cold. If it was summer, they baked under the sun. And because Big Sky Ranch was a working ranch used for many westerns, the cast and crew had to adapt, sometimes sharing space with cowboys, horses, and other productions. But for those 4 days, this became Walnut Grove, not just a set, a place. And the actors lived in it. Melissa Gilbert once said, "When I walked onto the ranch, I stopped being Melissa. I became Laura." And you can feel that, because the land remembered. Even today, fans visit and say, "I can still hear the harmonica," and maybe they can, but after those 4 days outdoors, the work wasn't done. There were still 3 more days of filming, and this part happened far from the prairie. Inside sound stages, under bright lights at Paramount Studios, and later, after the move from MGM, this is where the interior scenes were shot. Caroline stirring soup in the kitchen. Mary reading Braille by lamplight. Charles mending boots by the fire. These weren't filmed in the actual cabin. They were recreated, frame by frame, inside a studio, with sets built to match the exteriors perfectly. Same furniture, same layout, same worn floorboards, and the transitions seamless. So seamless, most viewers never realized. They were watching 2 different places stitched together. But that was the genius of the production. They made us believe. It was one home, one town, one life, and it worked. Because we believed. But here's something most people don't know. Not all the outdoor scenes were shot at Big Sky Ranch. Some of the most memorable moments, the ones that felt wild, rugged, untouched, were filmed in other locations across California and Arizona. Let's talk about Red Hills Ranch in Sonora, California. This was used for wide-open frontier scenes, wagon rides through tall grass, plowing fields, or hunting trips. It had a raw, untamed beauty. No buildings, no towns, just earth and sky. And when Charles and Mr. Edwards went fishing, or when Almanzo took Laura on a buggy ride through the countryside, chances are it was filmed here. Then there was Lake Sherwood, California, nestled in the Santa Monica Mountains. This location gave them water, reflections, peace. It's where they filmed quiet moments. Laura skipping stones, Mary sitting by the shore, or the family picnicking near the water. It felt remote, tranquil, like a secret place only they knew. And then, Old Tucson Studios in Tucson, Arizona. Now, This one's special because Old Tucson wasn't just any set, it was a full Western town built in 1939 for the movie Arizona, and it became a key location for Little House episodes that needed a bigger, busier setting, most notably Mankato. In the show, Mankato was the nearby town where Charles would go to make deliveries, sell wheat, or run errands. It was bustling, dusty, full of characters, and yes, it existed in the story, but not in Minnesota. It existed in Tucson. Specifically, at Old Tucson Studios on 201 Kinney Road. Every time you saw Charles walking down a boardwalk, tipping his hat, or loading goods onto a wagon in Mankato, you were seeing Arizona, and if you've ever visited Old Tucson, you'd recognize it instantly. The sheriff's office, the saloon, the livery stable, all standing under the desert sun. And though it looks nothing like Minnesota, the crew made it work, with costumes, with props, with storytelling, and the audience, we believed. Because it wasn't about geography. It was about truth, about capturing the feeling of pioneer life, no matter where the cameras rolled. And honestly, that's what made the show so authentic. They didn't just recreate history. They lived it, as much as they could, and that dedication showed. Now, let's think about the schedule. 7 days per episode. 4 outside. 3 inside. And remember, this was before digital editing. No instant playback, no CGI fixes. Everything had to be perfect, or they'd reshoot and weather. Unpredictable. They once lost a full day because of rain. Another time, a windstorm knocked over a fence mid-scene. And during winter episodes, they brought in real snow, trucked in from the mountains, because Southern California rarely got its own. And Karen Grassel once joked, "We were freezing on the outside, but we had to act warm on the inside." And they did. Because the show demanded realism, and the cast delivered. But beyond the logistics, there was something deeper happening. This rhythm, 4 days on the land, 3 in the studio, created a kind of balance between nature and structure, between freedom and discipline, between the open sky and the safety of home. And isn't that what Little House was about? Living in harmony with the world, working hard but coming back to warmth. And in a way, the filming process mirrored the very values the show taught. Now, imagine being on set. You start the week at Big Sky Ranch. Early mornings, dew on the grass, birds singing. You walk into character. You speak in 1870s dialect. You ride horses. You carry buckets of water. And by Friday, you're tired, sunburned, feeling like you've really lived it. Then you go to Paramount. Lights, cameras, crews everywhere. And suddenly, you're indoors, back in modern time, but you have to stay in character. Keep the accent, remember the emotions, and film the kitchen scenes, the bedroom talks, the quiet moments that carried, the soul of the episode, and somehow, magically, it all came together, edited seamlessly, scored with that haunting harmonica theme, and delivered into homes across America, and we watched, week after week. Never knowing how much work was behind it, but feeling its truth, because it was true. Not in location, not in calendar, but in spirit, and that's what mattered. So the next time you see Charles walking into town, or Caroline hanging laundry in the sun, or Laura running barefoot through the fields, don't just see a scene. See the 7 days it took, the different states it crossed, the care, effort, and love poured into every frame. Because Little House on the Prairie wasn't just a TV show, it was a labor of love, built not just on scripts, but on soil, on sweat, on memory. And thanks to places like Big Sky Ranch, Red Hills, Lake Sherwood, and Old Tucson, that memory still stands, waiting, whispering. ready for us to return. And when we do, we don't just watch the past, we step into it, and for a little while, we're home.